Mohan has been trading in the industry for over 10 years. In the early 2010, he introduced Boomerang Scalp Trader through our company, Indicator Warehouse, and it has become one of the most popular day trading softwares in the industry. His new Boomerang Currency Trader, which is what he will talk exclusively about today, is amazing. He has added features to the software, some of which are industry's first, never seen before. Mohan has trained over 50,000 traders through his services over the past 10 years, including sellout seminars, webinars, and DVDs. And now, with that, let me present Mohan on Boomerang Currency Trader.
Greetings, traders. Nice to be here today. This is our first in a series of webinars that I'm going to be doing for you on Boomerang Currency Trader. First of all, I want to welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us. I want you to know that before we get started, I admire anybody who's ever picked up a mouse and bought one single stock or futures or option or anything. It takes a lot of guts to trade. And I just want to put that out to you, that I admire you for just ever even picking up a single mouse and clicking on a trade, because you know what happens? Everything is happening after you do that click on your mouse. If I can help you to learn to follow these simple rules of Boomerang Currency Scalp Trader, you are going to be amazed at how accurate this system is. What happens in trading is that you're organizing data, and that's what Boomerang Currency Trader does. Let me show you how this works. These are called trade channels here. The bottom indicator, it's just the one indicator we now use on Boomerang Currency Trader, and it's called the Boomerang Force Index. I invented this indicator, and I found that it was so incredibly accurate for Boomerang Currency Trader. So look at this. Boomerang Currency Trader gives us, first of all, this indicator here, this calls an accelerator bias alert. Now, it's the first in the industry to ever have these. It's about 65 to 70% accurate. These bias accelerator alerts, when you get a move on the opposite of this orange line here, which is a key bias indicating line that I developed, it actually serves as a zero line for a market bias in terms of relative strength in the market. But watch how accurate it is. I'm going to go over these charts with you in detail. Our signals occur when we get this is an alarmed signal on opening a trade channel. Now you notice that it's below the orange line, so that's an extra bearish signal, and with this bias accelerator indicator, it's telling us that we could get a stronger move. Now in hindsight, with the chart already up, you can see we got a huge move, and this alerted us to that. It's an industry first, as I said. Down below here, we go to the Boomerang Force Index, and red obviously is bearish, sell below this zero line right here, and green is a bullish sign. Now I just want to show you this, and we're going to start going over the charts, and you're going to see all the whipsaw and all the different things that occur in the market. I'm going to show you how to avoid that. First of all, we get the arrow that opens the sell channel, and these magenta dots here on the sell side. They're blue, as you can see down here on the buy side. These magenta dots actually are alarmed signals that come on the chart while it's trading and tell you to get short. Now in the methodology that we use to trade the Boomerang Currency Trader, we only look to take the first dot. In some cases we may take the second one, but generally it's just the first one we're after. So the arrow fires opening the new sell channel, for example. At the time of the firing, we had a zero. It was zero because there's no color here, which qualifies as a bearish signal when they're trending down, when it's a sell channel. And the first red dot, you can see clearly the Boomerang Force Index was red. When that goes off, you'll hear a Roadrunner sound, and it'll print on the chart. You simply hit the sell button, and you go short. And that would have been around 70 would have been the price there. So say we got some slippage, say we got 68. I designed this system to accommodate slippage because we're going in at the market when we see it tap the signal line. So I accommodated that, and you can see 8 ticks was quite available because if we were short at 68, 67, market went down to 46. But we don't squabble or cry about, oh, I could have got all these points. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of Boomerang Currency Trader is to go in and hit these extremely precision trades 3 to 4 to 5 times a day. Usually they'll offer you up to about 7, 8, 9 trades at some point. But you don't want to take them all. And there's especially ones you don't want to take based on the rules of the system. So I'm just showing you here. But look at this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start going through charts to show you. Now we trade normally, the recommended times are from 5 Pacific Standard Time. This is a Pacific Standard Time chart if you haven't figured that out. And that equates to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Or let's see, 2 o'clock. 8 to 2. Those are the preferred hours. Those are the busiest times to trade the market. Now, I'm just going to ask you to look at one thing with me as I scroll over these charts. Because I just want you to see, this is just one method, but it's the core method. If on the first dot that is tapped, the Boomerang Force Index is red, you sell. If it's bullish and it's going up and it's tapped, you buy. The conditions are, there's 4 rules for the conditions, and that involves whipsaw candles that you stand aside in, extended markets, and also based on what side of this orange line the market's trading at. So look at this, first of all. Here's a sell here. Here's that first tap here. I know there's one here, but that's the signal line alert. Look at that. There's 8 ticks there. Now, this is not a trade. The reason is the first tap I know here was green, but notice the length of this whipsaw candle. 39 to 46. That's 7 ticks. 7 ticks or more, those are whipsaw candles. You avoid those. Market went back lower again with smaller candles. There's a third winner there in a row. Now we come over here. Now this, by the way, I want you to see, this is a huge extended downside move here. Huge. So when you come into this area here, you have to be a little bit cautious. But it is okay to take a signal if you get it here. Here's the first dot on the signal line with a 0. Boomerang Force Index, you could have taken this trade. 1324, say you got 26. They ran up to 30. We got some whipsaw down to 21, but they ended up at 35. 8 ticks. 4 winners in a row, following the simple rules. Here's another short. See the arrow? Here's the magenta dot on the first tap. Red Boomerang Force Index. Now remember, this one's already locked in on this arrow, so you know, and on the second one here, that it's red. So it's tapped here, it's red. There's another 8 ticks, 5 trades in a row. Notice, new channel opening, bias accelerator alert within 3 candles. Huge move. You've got a trailing stop right here at the red line for those who like to hold for huge runners. I don't recommend it on the Euro FX, but you can if you want. And you have the secondary trailing orange line, which is, like I said, serves as a 0 line for the relative strength. So there's 6 winners in a row. We get down to the green arrow here, 0 line here, bullish sign. The first tap on the signal line is green. Up they go. 7 winners in a row on this date. By the way, this was 131. This was a couple days ago. Next trade, 0 on the arrow. The first tap on the signal line is red. You go short. 8 winning trades in a row, and a lot of them were huge runners. 2 of them which were alerted by the trade bias accelerator alert. You say, oh, this is too good to be true. Well, here's another winning trade, tapping here. 9 winners in a row, friends. Now again, you might have taken all these. Frankly, I would have recommended you stop at the 4th trade and said, okay, that's a good day. You can keep going. There's no crime in it. If you're following the rules and you're really good at that, then keep going. Here's another alert. Here's a red tap on the signal line, which, as you can see down here, red Boomerang Force Index. Price is 78. Came down to 64, another 8 ticks. Now you say, what happened here? There's an arrow on the signal line, right? Boomerang Force Index red. Ignore the signal. Here's another arrow up here. It's hidden by the bias accelerator. So we got an arrow for a sell channel and a bias accelerator alert saying runner coming here. The first tap was here at 75. Second tap was here at 73. Everything's red down here. 10 winning trades in a row on this day within a 3-hour period. Should we go for 11? Here's the arrow opening the trade channel. It's red. That's okay. We're looking at the first tap on the signal line, which is right here. There it is. It's a green Boomerang Force Index, up 8 ticks. Friends, 12 winning trades in a row. Here's a sell arrow for a sell channel that didn't quite open. The Force Index was green. Here's a new buy arrow showing an up channel. The first tap on the signal line, 9:59 time frame, is green. Up they went for another 8 ticks. We've now entered the cutoff point right around 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock, and look what happened. After 12 winning trades in a row, the market went into chop mode. Now, I can find some other choppy periods, trust me, to show you how to deal with those. What I just showed you, I didn't handpick that. I just put the chart in there earlier. I said, I'll go over this day, and it turns out, doing this now with you, I can see that it was like 12 winners in a row, which is astounding, but it's there in the charts. They don't lie, and there's nothing specific about it. The Boomerang Force Index matched the color, the dot color for buy and sell within the trade channel. That's it. The system I developed here organizes the data for you. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we want. Let's move ahead to the next day, see if we can find some whipsaw, because I know you're all going, this is outrageous. It's too good to be true. Well, it's not. It is true. I'm just showing what's on the charts. These don't change after the markets. In fact, they don't change 1 minute after they print the bar. Everything's the same, the price and everything. But let me show you how it works, what happens when you get into whipsaw. Here's how you identify that. Say you started trading 8 o'clock on this day. Well, the channel's already open, so you don't do anything here. You come into the next one. The arrow opens, it's green. The first tap in the signal line is at 79. It's green, so you take it. 79 runs up to 90. Okay, got my 8 ticks. Now you come in here, and you get an arrow shooting down here in the first tap here at 74, and they run up to 85, and you're stopped out, because our stop rule is 4 ticks above the red line. So it would have been 84 from 75, you know, a small stop, which is fine. So there are stops. You do get stopped out sometime because of the whipsaw, but the key is to not enter during the whipsaw period. However, the next trade immediately, you can learn from our previous tutorial I just did, red and red matching, 8 ticks, so you made that loss back right up. Here's another one. Now here's a whipsaw candle up, pull back to the signal line, and you got a 0 on the second bar. Would you have taken it? Maybe. You might not have. You might have stood aside because it made you nervous. Anyway, it was a winning trade if you did. Now look at it as an example here. I'm trying to find, oh, okay, here's a good example here. This trade signaled for a short signal, right? However, being green on the Boomerang Force Index, you don't take it. The first tap on the signal line, green. You avoid this trade. That's the rule. If the arrow can be, you want that ideally to be the same color, but if the first tap is the same color, you can take it. However, if it's not, as you see here, it's green, don't take the trade. Just stand aside. Well, look what happened. We got here. This is what I call a fat channel, not an official one. I'm going to find one in here that gives you a really good example of what I mean. Anyway, this was not a trade. And one would say, what about this trade? Well, when you get a fat channel like this, generally it's a sign of whipsaw occurring, and you don't want to, you want to be very careful on the next trade. Now, a lot of people think they got to trade all the moves. That's not the purpose of Boomerang Currency Trader. You got to have some common sense here. The purpose is to sit and look at the markets and go, wow, what are we doing here? Sure, it says buy, but look at the force index is still bearish, so hold on, there's more to the downside. So when they switched back to short again, now again, here's a trade on the first tap where everything's red, 71, spiked down to 57. Yeah, you got another 8 ticks out of that. That was a fast move. And that opened a miniature fat channel. I'm going to find you a big one. I show you. These are what really count. But you can see these, even though we got stopped out, we were alerted not to trade here, we're still getting winning trades today like anything. Here's another winner. Green, first tap green, up. Well, actually, the first tap here is red, but if the arrow itself is showing a green Boomerang Force Index, you can take a tap on the signal line, even if it's red. The reason is we're above the orange line, and we're in a buy channel. And we got a bias accelerator, 3 candles from the opening arrow, opening the trade channel. Look what happened. Boom, they shot up really fast. That's that buy accelerator. It works beautiful. That's why I put it in there. Hey, I'm using this stuff every day. If I'm going to sell it and offer it to people and have people email Stephanie and have her go over tutorials with you and show you how to own it and have her install it and all the things that we do for you, it's got to be the best in the industry. I have to stake my reputation because I've trained over 50,000 traders. I had a webinar where Mark Douglas, a well-known psychologist, came. We had 300 traders there. A dozen of them flew in from Chicago from the floor. I stood up there for 2 days in front of a crowd that size, and Mark did his part, about a 3-hour seminar on trading psychology, which you guys, I'm going to talk to you about in a minute here. You're not going to get away from this one. It was mind-blowing. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I stood in front of them and I said, I got to impress these floor traders. You're darn right. But now that I've shown you, literally in 2 days, I've shown you something like 16 winning trades and 2 small stops on my blog, www.boomerangtrader.com. Under resources, there's a report in there called Trader's Mindset. Let me tell you something. This is not all about looking at charts and watching squiggly lines and looking at indicators. This is about embracing the trader's mindset. Unless you come in fearlessly and embrace these trades every day, you're going to get them wrong. And you're going to email me and go, I've been trying and trying, but I can't get it right. It's because you're not doing what I told you. And I told you to read this report on the trader's mindset. Order Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone. Order it from Amazon for under 20 bucks. Do it now. Get that book in your hand and get your yellow pen out. And as much time as you spent looking at charts, I need you to spend at least 1 hour a night or more reading this book and yellow marking all the parts in it. It's the only book you'll ever need on trading psychology. So I'm not advising you to go and start buying 20 books on trading. Just buy this one book, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Start taking notes. Get a yellow pad in this book, a yellow marker for the book, and a pen, and start studying it. Start researching it and writing notes, and put those notes on your trading desk every day. And I want you to listen to this. Read this book thoroughly and yellow mark it. When you're done with the book, I want you to go back over the whole book again, reread it, and reread your notes and study them. And guess what? The third thing, I want you to do that for the rest of your trading career with this one book. Do not blow me off. Do not blow off trading psychology. I get this all the time. You don't understand the world you're dealing in. All these numbers are flying around, and the way they're flying around, they're intimidating you. And when you're losing money, you're in fear. You've got a rent or mortgage to pay, and you're scared, and you're losing, and you've got huge psychological issues coming at you because you're trying to trade these markets, and you think you got to catch all the moves, but you don't. You need to buy Boomerang Currency Trader, follow these exact signals that I've programmed in here, put the stop in, which is 4 ticks above the red line, and let Boomerang Currency Trader do its magic and make you trades, make you money. Stop speculating, guessing at trades, trying to figure out the markets, which you can't do. None of us can do that. Well, maybe I can. I'm just kidding. I've been calling the exact direction of the market for the last 10 years in a row. Wall Street, to this day, I heard it on CNBC again, they say it's impossible to do. Well, I've been doing it every day for 10 years with about 80% accuracy. Anyway, I'll tell you right now, I don't have them figured out either. These rigged markets can be pushed around anywhere they want by these big kids with the billions of dollars, like a kid in a sandbox. They can push it wherever they want. Point is this: buy Boomerang Currency Trader. Let Boomerang Currency Trader tell you where to trade instead of your own ideas. Watch for a trade channel opening with a bias accelerator and watch the runners go. If you want to trade that way, I can give you methods, but generally, all I want you to do is start out and follow my simple scalping method. You got an arrow opening a sell channel, you got a red dot in the signal line with a matching boomerang force in there, not 10 confusing, stupid indicators. One indicator, one trade channel, one alarm signal that sounds like a roadrunner going off on this line telling you push the sell button. When Stephanie organizes you with Boomerang Currency Trader, she'll set it up where it'll automatically put your 8-tick stop or profit down here, and it'll automatically put in a stop for you with one click. Then all you got to do is sit there and watch the trade, follow the rules, and avoid choppy periods, and you will be a very happy camper. So now it's 2 o'clock. We've got 15 minutes left in the webinar. What I'd like you to do is 2 things. Number 1, she's accumulating your questions. Number 2, if you have any questions at all for me, I want you to email me at mohan@boomerangtrader.com. Again, that's mohan@boomerangtrader.com. Now, I don't give these cheesy little one-line quips on the email. I answer them. Sometimes they're like 3 paragraphs long. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm getting a break now. I only get 50, 60 emails a day. I used to get 200 a day when I first started my services back in 2003 and 4. And after those seminars, my God, I'd get home and there'd be 400 emails. And I answered every single one of them in detail for the person answering me because I care about you. I know what you're going through. I'm going through it every day too. I'm trading, but I'm winning with Boomerang Currency Trader. I want to help you win. It's not that expensive. Come on, these guys are charging $4,000 for these courses, and they want you to join their live room for $200 a month. Give me a break. Mohan is the low-cost guy with the best stuff in the industry. We're number 1 with Boomerang Scalp Trader. Stephanie, take it away. What questions do we have?
Okay, Mohan, someone would like to know if you ever set up a runner to catch the larger move, possibly moving your stop to break even after an 8-tick profit target has been hit.
The answer to that question is no. 8 ticks is too tight. The reason we don't recommend runners, you can do them if you want. You would want 8 ticks is too tight. If to catch a runner, it's going to run 14 ticks in your direction. It's going to pull back 9, which is going to freak you out. It's going to run back to the 14 level and shoot up. Here's a classic example. Let me do it right on this chart for you. Say we saw this here, we got a runner alert within 3 candles, and we saw the runner alert, we grabbed this pullback here, 79, and we were set to go for runner now. It ran up here to 94. That's 15 ticks, right? And you're going, wow, what do I do? Should I take it? Well, fortunately, this one they pulled back, but they came all the way back from 95 to 86, almost 10 ticks pullback. And you went, oh, no, now I'm only up 7 ticks. Oh, well, so much for your runner. Well, if you got up so much, but if you held on, then they shot up to 1203. See what I'm saying? So now your question is, if I get 8 ticks, should I put a stop? I think it was at break even. Well, you can do that, and you might get knocked out. I could go through here, or you can email me, and I can send you some other samples. But my experience is that if you get an 8-tick move, you'd probably want to move it to maybe a 5-tick loss. You can definitely trail it, but you should do it manually because this stuff happens really fast. We'll give you an example. On our example, you're trying to take this runner, 7:07 East would be 10:07 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so 7:07, here's where it ran up. 7:10, 3 minutes. Friends, that's why I trade the Euro FX. I can't stand that ES. Sometimes you just sit in that thing for 2 hours biting your nails. You don't know where it's going to go. Look at the last few days, you know. That contract is all rigged up. They got Bernanke on there doing everything he can to talk the markets up. And it's just, it's supposed to be pulling back. It's a normal market as ebb and flow, pulls back. Anyway, the point is this is 3 minutes of a run-up. But sometimes that 3 minutes is going to go from here to here, down to the red line, tap the red line with a loss on the entry, shoot up to here, pull back to here, and then go up another 20 ticks. That's the currency markets for you. I think didn't we just have something like that over here? You know, same thing. You know, you got long. Well, this is not a setup, but I'm saying there's tremendous pullbacks in these markets a lot of times. So in answer to your question, email me and I'll give you some other ideas if you want to catch that. If you're a Boomerang Currencies owner, I'll have that and some other suggestions for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us today. Make sure and email me if you have any questions, and we'll look forward to hearing from you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.